All right, well, let's get back into it. All right, so
Bam Bam.
obviously has been cutting weight at Fyre Festival, and
He's obviously been malnourished for weeks waiting for Ja Rule. Ja Rule never showed up. Now he wants to fight.
Monica, no.
By pure chance, he has found an opponent on the other side of Fire Island.
You know my flow, ill to the Izzo. From a whistle kiddo, sipping up on the Kisco. Never listen Cisco, I listen Jada Kisto. Hip hop to the disco, reggae, the list goes on. Take this playlist and no techno. Hell no, this though.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of What is Sensitivity, also known as another episode of Smashing Kittens in a Small Cardboard Box.
Pleasant.
It's fun. Tonight, we are at Po Boy's home, and he's been gracious enough to give us a setup.
The humble abode.
It's nice. Actually, you know, I'm kind of impressed with this. Even though you rolled away the air mattress, I still feel like I'm floating on a cloud.
Does that mean I was like telling you, I think because I have an air mattress, I'm a fuckboy, apparently.
No, the fuckboys are on Fire Island.
Yeah.
Dying.
Oh, man, I wish I got out there, you know, the refugee camps that they had.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like going to, what's that thing when you're Jewish? Birthright. It's like Birthright, but with Ja Rule.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't show up, apparently, even though it's his festival.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, dude, those guys are getting wrecked right now. Anybody who was any part of that.
Okay, so we'll start this off with that. We're gonna talk to Bam Bam in about 16 minutes, 18 minutes, give or take.
Whatever.
Yeah.
An hour from now.
Yeah, I should probably set a timer because I'll forget, but I'm not going to set a timer.
No, we're
make this
good.
happen. And we haven't even tested how it sounds with a speakerphone. But I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be good.
So let's talk about Fire Island. Can you bring us up to speed on...
Well, I don't know if it's called Fire Island. It was like eczema or exodus. I don't know.
Exactly.
There was a huge exodus, apparently, though, from it.
Schmegma Island.
Yeah, but it was the Fyre Festival, and it was like put on by all these like social media models and shit like that, or at least that's how they promoted it.
Okay.
From social media influencers with quotations, and apparently, you know, a bunch of these fucking rich assholes got duped out of their money because they just showed up and the place was just disheveled. There's nothing even going on, and there was like a picture of sandwiches that were just like a piece of cheese and like lettuce.
That's what disparity looks like.
But apparently that was marketed as like gourmet, and then they released all these artists like
From their cages.
well, they were basically they're scam artist cages.
Here's your Savage 21.
I mean, apparently this was just a shell of an organization that put it on in the first place, though.
Yeah, you were saying that it was pretty much like this false... I don't even know. I'm going to give everyone a heads up that I've been drinking since like...
Oh, you were at Fyre Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of the refugees that escaped.
There you go.
I left my tarp.
Yep.
I've been drinking since 3 o'clock-ish. Right now, or 4 o'clock. Right now it's 10:15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just feeling a little disheveled in a good way, but you know.
You are the embodiment of the Fyre Festival right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I'll tell you. So I was listening to NPR right before you had texted me earlier, and you're like, "Where are you at?" And leading up to that text, I was listening to this someone talking about Fyre Festival. Is it even Fyre Festival?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Can
Fire
we call it
with a
something
Y.
else? Can we call it something else that it actually assembles? Let's call it Auschwitz 2.0
There you go.
or Concentration Island.
Probably more accurate.
Yeah. So the only thing that I'd heard, I caught the tail end of it, was people that called in to speak to NPR, and whoever was reporting was like, "So what happened at the festival?" And they were like, "I spent $5,000 to come here." And it looked like a refugee camp. There's tents, there's no artists, there's no food, there's no water. In the back of my mind, when I heard this without understanding what it was, and I just heard the tail end of like, and Ja Rule put it on, I was like, who the fuck signs up for something like this? Ja Rule. Who's going to a fucking island to see Ja Rule?
I mean, they're just capitalizing on what us assholes like, apparently.
I don't know who those assholes are. I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah. Well, they're kids that look at shit on social media and they're like, oh, fuck, that looks tight. I'm going to just, you know, blow my load on this.
Mom, can I have $6,000?
Yeah. Can I get ass implants, too, while you're at it?
I got to go to Fire Island with a Pepsi. Stat.
Well, that would actually have solved, like, Pepsi would have solved the issue.
That was the problem. They
Yeah.
didn't have a case of Pepsi
No
on
more
the
Pepsi.
island.
No Pepsi, Coke.
No.
No. It is.
No.
It
We
is.
only have Coke.
It is pretty insane though that people will spend exorbitant amounts of money on stuff like that. And
Well,
you don't have to go that far. But I mean, yeah, like I'm one to talk.
So let's talk about you in this context of spending exuberant amounts of money to go see artists in a fucking essentially an island. You went to Coachella last weekend.
Yes.
Can you give me a little
First off, they have a track record
of terribleness? Nothing like Fire Island, but every time you even said
Hey,
it
don't say
yourself. You even said it yourself, and you were like, every time I come back from this, I feel like I never want to go back. And then a year comes around, and I think, okay, maybe it'll be better next time.
It does, because everything else is just mundane compared to like going out and just experiencing some live music for days on end.
Well, then when you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But I mean, there's definitely been like last year when I went, I thought it was just the worst thing ever, and I was like, I'm never ever coming back to this. But they're calculating what they do. They have artists drop their albums around there, so like Kendrick dropped it, and I really wanted to go see him. So
yeah.
I'm figuring, all right, well, I'll suck today's dick for a few other artists if I get to enjoy this person's show that I'll probably never get to see in terms of like this context again.
That is a good point. Like, as much as I hate on stuff like that, like I've told you flat out, that's the last place on earth I would ever want to be, is a place with thousands of strangers and the heat with dust.
So that's what you do. You just get dusty. You get like you're dirty the whole time. It is pretty miserable. Somehow you kind of rationalize it to yourself, like, this is fucking sick, bro.
This dust in my teeth, so worth it.
Yeah.
But that's like, look,
that's
a big difference between you and I. Is you are exponentially more optimistic than I am about anything.
I don't know. You're a pretty optimistic guy, but yeah, I try to just sunny side up.
You are pretty sunny side up.
Mm-hmm.
So you were there. What artist did you see?
Well, Kendrick was the big one. I saw Tycho. I saw Thundercat. Thundercat was pretty sick because he's probably one of the lesser known artists in terms of the whole that was there.
Uh-huh.
But plays 6-string bass guitar, real funky, real groovy. And so that was sick to watch. I didn't go into the tent because it was packed. So I liked seeing kind of like that type of like crowd there, like people that were hyped to actually see the artist. They knew who he was. And then from there I saw like a few EDM artists, like I saw Galantic,
Indian Summer.
Well, there was like Jai Wolf was there, but I didn't see him, and that's the only song I know of his, so I'm not gonna go and see that
song
shit.
he fucking has, and it's not even that fucking good,
right? There was this really cool Scottish band, or not Scottish band, but Scottish DJ group. It's one dude, but he has like other guys that assist with the mixing while he's doing it, and Sam Gilliatri is the artist.
Nice.
But he's it was like the last show. I think it was on Friday or Saturday, and it's like one of those ones where it's kind of like it's too out there with like just how much they're just throwing in synths left and right, and they're like just taking these hard turns, and it's almost like if I was on ketamine, maybe this would be okay.
It's like Gallagher with a keyboard instead of a watermelon.
Yeah, but it's
welcome everybody.
It's at least just enjoyable. It's kind of. You're like, oh, dude, it's sick. Whoa, he's smashing that, man. Art.
Oh, he's
music.
fucking a keyboard on stage.
Yeah, I like that. No, but it was cool to just go to like one of these smaller shows that was a lesser known artist, and kind of like I listened to his stuff on SoundCloud and Spotify, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just check it out, and it actually turned out to be a pretty decent show. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you came back with sugar in your mouth, not salt.
Yeah, nice. But at the same time, like it's like you put out coin for it. It almost like at the end of it, you're just kind of like, it wasn't really worth it.
How much is it to go?
I think the tickets are like $420 something.
Holy fuck.
And then we got an Airbnb, so I, when I shelled in for it, it's like the total. So.
Oh, I didn't even ask you where you're staying. There's people that camp there, right?
Yeah, people camp there. I mean,
Fire Island.
Yeah, exactly like Fire Island. No, but it's like because they don't go under the false pretense that they're gonna have accommodations already there, which is what Fire Island was. They're like, hey, we got this shit ready for you, and it's just a dirt floor, and they have plastic over these like geodomes.
There's no ham in the ham sandwich. There's only mayo and cheese.
Yeah. But no, at least like at Coachella, they're gonna just tell you, all right, you get a parking spot or like a camping spot, and then you set up shop on your own.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you don't bring a tent and you have a fucking shitty time, then that's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
But no, we stayed at an Airbnb that's like 2 miles out, so we have to like make that trek in, which is pretty brutal. It kind of takes it out of you once you get in there.
Well, especially when you're drinking nose beers and smoking throat candy.
Well, yeah, I mean, like once you have to like be strategic about it. You drink a bunch of water beforehand. You kind of get yourself ready, and then once you're inside the venue, that's when you kind of let loose. But beforehand, because you're passing security and stuff, I'm just that type of person. I'm like worried, you know, before I go in. So I'm like, I need to get in the safe zone.
Yeah, that's. So speaking of drinking water before you do something, have you ever been in Santa Cruz on 420?
No, but I've heard.
It's gay. It sucks.
I've heard. Oh no, I've heard like they go in a big field and it's just like hazy.
Yeah,
like there's like a big.
Ooh,
I know.
a fucking cloud.
Yeah.
Let's all smoke our joints in a cloud.
Are they smoking or is this just fog?
It's a lot of special effects. A lot of people bring their own fog machines. No one actually smokes weed. It's a total bust.
That's what I heard, man.
The one time I did go, I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 because I went with this girl I was dating at the time and her sister's boyfriend went. Boyfriend had to buy us beer because he wanted to be macho about it. Because I
sound
asked,
a little sore about it.
I was really sore about it because I was like, hey, we were staying at someone's house and I was like, hey, should we go get some drinks or something? I just looked at the beer that we have that has the mold on it. But anyways.
You want the extra yeast.
I went to a liquor store to buy beer, and apparently I got the extra fuzz.
Well, maybe this is what Macho Man ended up doing without you knowing.
That belt in the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, brother. So he was buying us beer or whatever, and we went to the 420 day, and I was like, this is great. And then you do the hike. You're not parked anywhere near it. Everyone's driving to Santa Cruz for this bullshit. I don't know that was like 10 years ago. I don't know what it's like now. It's probably so fucking blown out.
I'm sure.
It's probably like Coachella for free if you're an idiot and you want to walk 10 miles to go smoke weed in a field.
Yeah, I could see that. So
we went up there, and I was like, this is great. And it was fucking hot that summer, or that spring, 420, that April 20th.
You got it.
Yeah. And we walk like 2 miles. I'm like, oh, it's kind of fucking hot outside. I wish I had some water. Then we walk another 2 miles. I'm like, this is bullshit. How am I supposed to smoke weed when my mouth tastes like sandpaper and all these hippie fucks are here? So, and I mean, at the time, this is a young Rodrigo that thought, I'm a social butterfly. I'm going to go hang out with these fucking people. Now the last thing on earth I would do is get high in a field with people. Literally, like concentration camp, Coachella, and 420 in Santa Cruz are my top three. Like if I've hit rock bottom, I'm there. That's where I will be.
I feel like we're coming to the conclusion that festivals, things of this nature, are like capitalism's version of the internment camp.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Like, hey, we're just going to rape and pillage you for your money because you're dumb enough to do it. Get in this fucking gas chamber where you're sucking each other's farts and then get out.
So the thing about 420 is you sign up for it. There's no benefits to going to it other than you bring everything on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring your own weed. There's no accommodations of any kind. There's no flowing water, which I didn't know until I got there. Hey, let me bring a 12-ounce bottle of water and fucking die.
So drink some of that ocean water. It's real good for you.
We're not even close to the ocean. So I get over there and I'm like, fuck, I'm really thirsty. And then I'm like, hey, did anyone bring water? And we're with some fucking idiot that's like, hey, dude, I brought a jug, but it's for me and my girlfriend. I think her name was Sage or something.
No.
Exactly. And I'm like, on top of this, like on top of my shit that I got to deal with this hippie fuck. And I'm like, great, dude. Like all I want to do is smoke. Like I would have had more fun. I sound so bitter right now. I would have had more fun hanging out inside of someone's living room in Santa Cruz or even in fucking where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And watching it on the news or something. But anyways, I went like another hour without having water. Started getting a really bad headache. It's really hot outside. It's like 90 plus degrees. How hot was it at Coachella?
Like 100 something, in between 100 and 110.
That sounds fucking miserable.
It was.
Jesus.
You got to like wait. You don't want to be out there too early because you'll die.
Really?
I feel like it. No, there's people that are they're very good about it. You know, they pick and choose their battles, sit in the shade for a while. You
got to be seasoned. It's like have you ever talked to someone that's been to Burning? Have you ever been to Burning Man before I asked that question?
No, but I've definitely talked to like 3 people since we did the last podcast with G.
Did you talk to the people that were at the campsite that went there?
Yeah, I did. So them, and then I talked to a few people at Coachella just randomly that had been there too.
Uh-huh.
So it was, I don't know, it's just kind of, most people were telling me that, I mean, obviously Burning Man's a different beast and that it was more fun, but like more fun, definitely a freer environment. You know, you can kind of just make it what you want.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's almost like you pay to just get into an area where it's almost like a no holds bar, like kind of just fucking society that is supposed to pop up and create itself.
My inner bitter hermit is so. The idea of Burning Man is just like, just because like I talked to the guy that was there with us, who I've known since I was like a little kid. I've known him for years, and I've seen him evolve into this like hippie fuck, and now he's like, hey dude, I live in San Diego and I sell solar panels, it's super green, blah blah, and I love this guy. Like I've had tons of fun times with him, but when he starts talking about Burning Man, I'm like, all right, here we fucking go. I just fucking hand me a clipboard so I can sign up for this.
Yeah.
So he talks about it, and he was like, the thing about Burning Man is you can't buy anything. It's all about trading. And as soon as he said that, I was like, well, I'm never going to go to that. Because I'm like, look, I work really hard for the money that I have, right? In that same respect, I'm not about like, I don't even know how to put it other than I'm not going to be like, hey, I'll build you a fire for a bowl.
Yeah.
How about I give you a cup of water for a beer? Like that whole system to me is fucked. I live in a capitalistic system that's like totally gentrified and first world. I'm used to it. If it went down to it and I had to do that, I would do it. But at this point, no.
Yeah, but it'd have to be apples to apples type of thing. You know, like if you're going to be, when you're there, it doesn't sound like the scale's very balanced. So it could get out of whack pretty easily.
Right.
So in the society that we live in, that doesn't actually work. It's just because everyone knows that it's a finite period of time. So they just kind of don't care about it. But if you did take that, because I feel like a lot of burning people, they do definitely get real into it. And it's almost like, why aren't we doing that shit now, man? Like, we need to live like that right now.
God, the people that come with a bottle of water and they're like, someone walks by, fucking Sage and Francis walk by and they're like, you know, it's really wasteful to have a 24 ounce. Why don't you get a gallon? They're like, you know, we need to fucking do that right now. Pour all of our bottles of water into a giant, but we're going to drink it out of a bag. And then they get the bag. Oh, shit. It's happening. You can pick it up.
All right. Hello. Is this Mr.
Bam Bam? Yes, sir.
Oh.
What up,
One
nigga?
and only.
You're sounding pumped right now.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
we're not-
Smash some dude's face in.
Yes. Yes.
So where did you just come from?
Just came from dinner. Nice little dinner celebration with all my friends, family, all that.
Nice.
Had a nice little pasta meal in me. Well, a couple.
A couple.
All carved up and ready to go.
Dude, I need to thank you for inviting us to that. I've never been to that restaurant, and it was amazing.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. It's good to have you guys there. I like to just have my friends and my family there and just hang out one last time before I go out and do my thing, you know?
Yeah, the vibe was awesome. So you got to fight tomorrow,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
How do you feel? Where are you at right now?
I feel great. Pumped. I'm so excited. I haven't fought in almost 3 years. Been a long road to get back after injury and surgery and all that stuff and all the things that came along with that as far as me trying to find a way to get by when I was hurt and stuff like that. So it's been a long journey, but finally come to an end and I'm finally about to get back and do what I do.
Yeah, buddy.
Very, very excited.
Fuck yeah.
So you went on a pretty restricted diet these last few weeks?
Yeah, I was eating a lot of lettuce and water and ice chips, and then none of that.
Just gone pure anorexic.
Yeah, what did you do? I was trying to explain to Po Boy what you look like before a fight, and I was like, I made this joke one time when I didn't really know him that he looked like Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, you saw it tonight, Po Boy. You're sucked up. You definitely restrained yourself a lot.
There's like zero body fat. This dude's face looks more chiseled than anybody's life. It's
Yeah,
going.
that sucks. Is tomorrow I'm gonna be fat.
There's more veins.
Need that padding.
There's more veins in your face than my dick.
Oh, damn. I
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. No, but how does it feel? Like, what's the vibe? What do you get from having a lot of people around you, kind of your circle around you before a fight? Like, does that give you a lot of energy, a lot of power?
Yeah, it really just kind of calms me a little bit. It kind of takes my mind off of what's about to go down tomorrow. It is going to be a high stress environment that I'm going to be in. Fighting and having somebody that wants to tear my fucking head off. But, and there's a certain amount of pressure that comes with that. Also, the fact that I'm an undefeated fighter right now. So,
yeah, I mean, keep it going.
It's going to be, tomorrow is just going to be, just keep my head in the game and do my thing and just don't get distracted. Don't let my thoughts be derailed by anything and just go out and do what I do. I know I can do it. I've trained really hard to do it, and I've sacrificed a lot and put a lot of effort into it. So I like the dinner because just everybody comes out and everybody's in a good mood and they're excited to see me fight too, and just all the positive vibes, all the good energy, and just kind of soak that up and just kind of bask in it. And just one more little time to relax and know that my people got my back, and I'm doing this for a reason, and that people are behind me, and yeah, it's a good way to go into it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So like going into it, do you kind of visualize yourself at all before a fight? You kind of have that mapped out a little bit, or how's that look for you?
As far as the actual fight and how it'll take place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that much today, just because most of the time that I spent today, other than at weigh-ins, at weigh-ins it's just kind of like, all right, we're all hungry, thirsty, we want to just hop on the scale and just get our bodies back to normal, basically. So we're just there doing that. We got to fill out paperwork, see a doctor and stuff like that. So pretty busy there. And then once I leave, I'm just trying to rehydrate and do all that stuff. And, it's a little bit, it's kind of an interesting thing because, I'm feeling kind of tired from dehydrating myself to make weight and not eating a lot of food the last couple of days. And then, finally I'm able to put those things back in my body, and it's almost kind of like a shocking kind of feeling. So when that happens, you just kind of got to just take it slow, don't eat too much, don't drink too much, but, make sure that you give your body what it needs. Mm-hmm. And then after that, being at the dinner and stuff, I'm not really thinking too much about the fight. I'm really just kind of in the moment, which is what I want. I have visualized the fight a lot already, mm-hmm. and that's kind of what I do when I'm training and, when I'm in that fight camp and I'm thinking about that, different ways to win, different strategies. I run a lot, and that's kind of one of the things that I do is I just kind of, meditate to myself, and I just go over the fight 1,000 times or more, and I just imagine how it's gonna go, what it's gonna feel like, what it's gonna look like, what he's gonna be doing, different ways that I can win. I just go over it over and over and over and over. Like, I win this way, I win that way, like I knock him out, I submit him, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just think of all the different options that I have, and then when I get there and I'm in that moment, I feel a little bit more comfortable because just visualizing it that many times, I already kind of feel like it's already happened.
Yeah.
So I'm not just kind of just stepping in like, oh shit, like here I am, the fuck did I sign up for?
Mm-hmm.
When you went to weigh-ins, how'd the other guy look?
He was pretty like he was pretty quiet, and he looked a little bit I don't know how to describe it.
Outside of
A little
malnourished.
bit. Yeah, I mean, but everybody kind of does, you know what I mean? But the interesting thing is that he fights at a lower weight class than I do sometimes. So I fight at 155.
Wait, how tall is this guy?
Like 5'11".
What the fuck?
But he's fought it at 145.
Oh damn!
And he asked for a heavier weight to fight at 162.
Really?
So I'm not sure if that's because he just got heavy on his off time or he hasn't been training or what, but I've seen him around before and he didn't look like he was in as good of shape today. But, you know, knowing that kind of stuff, I think that, in my opinion, he might be a little bit out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a couple things are just kind of pointing towards that, so...
Do you mean it looked like he didn't necessarily train, but he just cut a bunch of weight to make this?
I mean, I'm sure he trained, but, like, maybe he just, you know, just took the fight and started training then.
Yeah.
And maybe had to cut a lot of weight and just isn't in as good of shape as he usually is or something, but just kind of, and I could be wrong, you know, but...
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to you too, like already being so prepared and ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been training my ass off, so I think that kind of the game plan tomorrow is going to be to just kind of pour it on him in the first round, and hopefully he'll just break, you know. So
yeah.
That will be kind of where I'm going.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. Well, hey, we don't want to hold you back. We know you need to get your rest and everything. So we're wishing you all the best, man. We know you're gonna just go knee to the face, knee to the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you're gonna get it, dude. You're looking fit as shit, and dude,
Yeah.
I really can't wait for that walkout, and we're gonna be yelling, man. You're gonna hear us.
By the way,
I appreciate it, guys.
By the way, I'm really sorry about your walkout song.
It's not a big deal, dude. I'll figure something out. It's not really the walkout song that matters that much. It's really what happens inside the cage there. You know, so
Yeah.
Awesome.
it's all good.
All right. Well,
thank you guys again for coming tonight too.
thanks
Appreciate it.
dude, thanks for having us. That was an awesome time. It was great to see all those people, especially your parents and
Absolutely.
girlfriend, family, everything. It was a great environment.
Definitely.
I totally understand why you would surround yourself with those people the night before.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right, dude. We'll let you get to it and get some rest, and we will see you tomorrow night in the fucking cage. Well, outside of the cage, we'll be watching you kick ass in the cage.
Definitely. We'll have some beers after.
Hell yeah.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
All right. Good night.
All right, well, let's get back into it. All right, so
Bam Bam
obviously has been cutting weight at Fyre Festival, and
He's obviously been malnourished for weeks waiting for Ja Rule. Ja Rule never showed up. Now he wants to fight.
Monica, no.
By pure chance, he has found an opponent on the other side of Fire Island.
You know, and it doesn't matter whether
Bam Bam.
wins by an inch or a quarter mile. Winning is winning.
Yeah.
I think that's the line.
Yeah, I think it's there is no second place. There's only winners and losers, right?
Maybe?
What?
Yes. Well, dude, so we were talking about Burning Man, though. So kind of like the people and the environment that they produce after going to
Fuck,
Burning
dude.
Man.
It's so weird because, like, I need to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it creates great people. I think the people that go to that environment, and we'll talk about the trading situation, et cetera. But right now, this is focused on the people that come out of Burning Man. From what I've seen, I'll put it. Okay, here's a story that took place when we were camping. This guy comes over and he's like, "Oh, I have a camp kitchen and all this other shit that's unnecessary." And we're like, "Cool, you know, if you want to set it up, set it up." And you got to understand, like, when you and I record the episode with G, we're planning on like 25, 30 people coming. We don't have time to like really lollygag and be like, "Yeah, man, spread all your shit across our campsite because you feel like it's necessary because you went to Burning Man and it helped you."
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, he's like, "Let me set up the camp kitchen. Do you guys want some fucking guac?" And he did make, I don't know if you had it, but he made some really good vegetarian and vegan food or whatever he made.
I
It
did.
was like lentil fucking something.
Yeah,
It was really good.
He's trying real hard. He's doing good stuff, but it's just too much.
It's too much. It's
Yeah.
like fresh out of Burning Man stuff. It's tough. So anyways, the biggest issue that happened while we were camping is that we're sitting at our campsite and we're surrounded by trees. I don't think you saw it because you came.
No, I saw the trees.
Okay, so it was nice.
Mhm.
Like if I want to get out of the sun, scoot me back 5 feet, put my
Mhm.
beer back in my cup holder, done.
Mm-hmm.
And he, before the sun even really becomes an issue, when it's still like 65 degrees outside, and he's like, guys, I think I'm going to set up a tarp to protect us for later for today, because my sister has her baby niece that happened to come with us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not leaving the baby in the fucking sun to bake. Like, we're looking out for this kid, and he's like, I think for the baby's sake, we should probably set up a tarp. Which, like, passive-aggressively makes my brother-in-law and my sister and kind of myself look like a dick.
Yeah, kind of like you guys don't care, but I do.
Yeah, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, you fucking hippie? So, anyways, my brother-in-law and him go back and forth about it, and he's like, look, I went to Burning Man. We used the same setup. It worked out great. Just trust me. And my brother-in-law, who's like, I don't necessarily agree with the guy most of the time, but he was like, all right, fuck it, man. Do whatever the fuck you're going to do. We're going to go hang out in our tent in the shade.
Yeah.
So this guy spends at least an hour setting up this tarp where he has like fucking twine. Doesn't even have a knife. He has some fucking sharp edge to cut this twine with. Twigs, not the branches, but the twigs that attach this thing to try to cover our spot. Meanwhile, we have an easy up.
Yeah.
Right? We have an easy up. We can move the thing wherever. It's an easy up because it's fucking easy.
Yeah.
And we've already set it up easy enough. But this guy decides to make a whole ordeal out of it. So he goes back and forth, and he finally finds the perfect place to set up the fucking shade. His girlfriend, by the way, is the sweetest fucking girl. I don't know if you met her.
Mm-hmm. I met both of them.
She's really nice. Like, I hung out earlier in the day. We were at the beach, and we were hanging out, and I was just like, this girl is awesome. She's really cool. I'm glad that she met this guy, whatever. But the whole time, she's just sitting in the back, like, acting like this is all normal. I'm like, you really put up with this shit all the fucking time? Like, you let this guy fucking set up tarps in the middle of nowhere and be like, just trust me, it'll fucking work. So,
Burning Man, bro.
Burning Man.
So that's what he's trying to do, though, is spread the gospel of Burning Man. 'Cause that's what I
Exactly.
feel has happened a lot with people.
A lot of
do that,
people
and
drank
they're-
the punch.
When he was like, we're kind of like, do you stay in contact with anybody from Burning Man? And he goes, oh, well, yeah, no. Other people that have gone to Burning Man, we're a really close knit group of friends. So he was like saying that he doesn't actually stay in contact too much with the people he actually camped with and did stuff.
But it's like
It's like other people you meet from Burning Man. It's like, huh? PP? You got one too? Yeah. Like, but yeah, it's like a dude acknowledgement of like.
It's like Larry David when he's driving by somebody that has a Prius and he has to wave. It's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you went to Burning Man? I went to Burning Man too, bro.
Yeah. No, exactly. So that's what he was kind of saying. So in that, I think it validated the point, though, of like there is this kind of atmosphere that they try to produce afterwards and like enlighten everyone else about.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
it kind of comes off as douchebaggery.
It's total douchebaggery. And it sucks because it's like, where I work, there are douchebags. And I don't say that as like, you think you know douchebags? I know douchebags, dude. I work with some fucking douchebags. I work with people that are like, won't make eye contact with you because they're in the marketing department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a weird environment. Some of them are cool. Other people are just, why don't you fucking jump off a cliff? Like face first, blindfolded, whatever. You don't deserve to be here because the culture of this, my job at least, is not to have this kind of attitude.
Yeah.
You have existed here for years. You've transcended HR departments, diversity inclusion programs, CEOs, for fuck's sake. And yet you still seem to exist. You are still the cum stain on this company's undies. So whatever. Obviously you're doing something right for the company that everyone else can look past all your fucking flaws for.
Potentially.
Potentially.
I mean, when I was working or dabbling somewhat with the HR department at my old company and like working in the training department, dude, people get away with so much shit. There's so much employee relations issues that, nobody else knows about. But when you're intimately involved in that department, it's it's mind blowing how many people just have shit going on. They're constantly like, they're retaining their jobs because they've backed up either, administratively or they've got some like issue that hasn't been settled yet. So the HR can't do it. So they got to renew their contract, to ensure that they don't get sued or whatever. So that is actually kind of part of it where I think that's where those people survive from.
I'm trying to find a comfortable spot to hold my microphone.
I thought you were looking good earlier, but you're
I'm
changing it up.
I'm so fucking lazy right now.
But yeah, I mean, do you think that's probably true though? these people maybe they back up the system a little bit, so that's why they're.
I think they've built really. It's kind of weird. So at the same experience that you had, these people have been friends. Like essentially, they built a company from like 200 employees to 2,500, not 2,500, but like 1,500 employees. So the people that stuck in it for the long haul, it's like they're not going to get rid of them. Not because of like, dude, he's been here since day one, but really he built this company. He is the reason that the application looks the way that it does. He's the reason the speakers look the way they do. He's the reason the audio quality is as high as it is, because they set a standard off the bat and then kept it going that far.
Yeah.
Not to give away where I fucking work.
Yeah. You're good.
But you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it takes. And it's like if you and I, let's say, okay, the pipe dream of, let's say you and I built this podcast and built this whole thing of like, well, it's grassroots, dude. Like we're never going to leave it because we built this. And then we get to a point where it's like, hey, we created a whole marketing firm with all this shit. We have all these things that people want to listen to and deal with because it's our names are on it. And you and I have a conflict. We get married to somebody that we work with, and then I fuck your wife, let's say. Worst case scenario.
Jesus.
I would never do that. That's a bad man. But let's put myself in those shoes. Anyone else on the outside looking into that is like, well, they did start the company from the ground up. I mean, what are you supposed to do? And then it's this weird trickle effect that I've noticed, at least at my company, where like other people have that same mentality, but it's like degrees of that mentality. So it's like from the very core of it, there's people that will get away with murder. And on the outliers of it, like I'm a contractor for this company. And the things that I get away with simply from being there during its growth for the past 2 years, it's like, I'm surprised by it. I'm really surprised by it sometimes.
It's like retention nepotism.
Nepotism for sure. Non-related nepotism.
Yeah.
Inbred or not non-bred nepotism. God, my mind is all over the goddamn place.
No, but I mean, in all fairness, I don't necessarily have anything wrong with people that go to Burning Man and stuff like that. It's just interesting. And I honestly was like very self-conscious after I went to Coachella, because the first time you're like, oh fuck, it was like so tight, like, or whatever, like you want to tell people, or when they start and you just immediately encounter yourself in this cliche and you're like, oh fuck, I just should probably not talk.
I think it's really hard as like an adult, as an individual and an adult, to go to something like Coachella. Maybe it's easier as you become an adult, but to separate yourself from the cadence and the cliche of like what it's like to go to Coachella when someone's like, hey dude, how was Coachella? And you're like, it was cool, because you're trying really hard to not be the Coachella guy. You're trying, maybe not you personally, because I know you and you weren't like, dude, it was fucking, man, rolled so hard for 6 days straight and saw, I don't even remember, dude, but I, like you were engaged in it and you were talking to me about the people you're with and you're like, yeah, there's a guy on the ground rolling back and forth because he took too much ecstasy, but I was able to like actually comprehend it. These are the mistakes that I made. I got too high. I did whatever else. And so for you, like hearing your experience is actually an authentic one. I've definitely heard, and I'm sure you being there, you've heard other people who are like, fucking Coachella, dude.
Yeah, you get a whole spectrum of people. It's very interesting.
Well, there's I just have to say it one more time. You can tell I'm using this as a therapeutic point tonight.
There you go. You're doing great.
Is people are like, the first thing about Coachella is you don't fucking talk about Coachella, fuckers. Exactly. And I'm like, you fucking faggots. You went to some fucking, God, I gotta stop using that word.
Talking to the mods right now, or what?
What mods? Us? I'm the moderator now. But I mean, I look at some people like that, and it's so many different things. It's like it's even concerts. It's like if someone were to see Kendrick Lamar, let's say, at like a venue or something, and like, man, fucking Kendrick, did you hear DNA? Did you hear Doug Worthy though? And it's like,
hey, that beach switch up though. Hey,
did you hear the sample in the beginning? Fire Island, bro.
Dude, bro.
Fire fucking Island.
Dude, I know this bad bitch, man. So she like posts that shit on Fyre Festival, right? Dude, she gets like mad haters now, bro.
I want to go back to Fyre Festival with you because you know about this. So this
Sorry,
is.
I was just going on tangent, just fucking around, but yeah.
What? No, we can go.
No, let's go.
Fuck it. I don't like topics either.
You're going back to Fyre Festival?
No.
No, I was just saying because I was doing the little.
So Fyre Festival, you and I both, you more so, and I'm not saying that as like you more so, but you follow Fuck Jerry TV and the people that are associated with it.
Yeah.
I don't even have a Facebook now. I've been terrible at uploading our stuff to Facebook. I've stopped as soon as they banned us for that one thing. I don't even know if we were banned. I just gave up.
Yeah. Reddit's just better. It's a better platform.
Reddit's so much better. Internet 2.0.
Yeah. I look, whenever I see a meme or anything on Facebook now, I'm just like, I wonder how watered down this is, or like how many times it's been reposted.
God. I think it's kind of funny because you could. It's hard to tell. You're not able to tell if someone did a screenshot over and over. If it's a clean screenshot, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think so. before, what was I going to talk about before this? Seriously, I can't remember what I was going to talk about before this.
We were going into the Fyre Festival.
We were going to talk about fuck Jerry
And how
before I
yeah.
get to that. Okay.
Yeah.
My cousin, that when I first started looking at memes, like obviously my first meme was this very beautiful, young, light-skinned meme.
So good.
Supple. My chastity belt was starting to loosen. Hers was as well. I saw the font. It wasn't Comic Sans, and I nutted.
There you go.
So he
how
started
you
sending me memes. I was like, funny. Very classical meme with Doge. So he's looking through these memes, and he's like, hey, feminism, funny, drinking, funny, Doge, funny. And I'm like, dude, memes are great. I can look through all these different memes for anything.
Yeah.
So memes are just readily available. That's the funniest thing. Is like that you have a deck in the corner that's the Rodney Mullen Superman deck, which is fucking. Can I say it?
Gay?
Fucking gay.
It's got clear grip tape too.
What the fuck, dude? You're better than that. Was that a gift?
It was a gift, yeah.
Okay. From who?
My brother. He should have known better.
Okay, never mind. He gets a pass.
No, but he should have known better. I was like, clear grip tape.
I'm sure he did it as a joke. He's like, fucking food. I give him clear grip. So, anyways, we were sharing memes back and forth at first. I'm like, this is fucking funny. And then way later, I mean, you and I didn't really start fucking around with this stuff until what? 3 months ago?
No,
4
man.
months ago?
Yeah, 4 months ago.
January-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. So then when we start, and you were the person that introduced me to Reddit. I hate admitting this stuff, and I'm glad I'm getting it out now.
Do it.
Because 2 years from now, I'll be like, fuck Reddit. But then I started looking through Reddit, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like rubbing my palms together, knees weak, sucking dad spaghetti, looking at these fucking memes. I'm like, Jesus, these are brutal.
Yeah.
These will never be on Facebook. And I'm like, great, I found it. I have found it. And then when I show other people memes, they're like, that's fucking weird. And I'm like, I know, right?
Yeah.
Sick, isn't it?
They're like, dude,
Rodrigo.
some pedo memes the other day.
Aren't they so funny? In a little Doge, too.
And he had one about a school shooting, and I'm gonna call the cops on him.
I tried, dude. That's so funny. So my, I'll bring that up in a second. I'll remember that. Okay.
It just takes a certain type of humor.
What,
Like you
memes?
have to be, you just can't be offended.
You can't be offended. You gotta have a chip on.
You really just have to understand the reality of the situation and be able to make fun of it.
It's a giant fucking joke. The internet is a fucking joke to me. I can't say the internet. Internet's so funny. You've
heard of it, the internet?
Its existence is so I think that things that come on the internet are so free wielding. It's like if the world lived in a town with one street corner and it had a lamppost or a light post on it, and you know how people slap posters on it?
Yeah.
That's what the internet is to me. That's what Reddit is to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Is
That's what it's meant to be.
it's the world in a square block with one lamppost, and people are posting different things to different parts of this lamppost. It's visible to everybody, no matter how legal it may be or whatever else. And I mean, the internet's fucked up. If you go on 4chan, there's actual pedophilia, there's actual bestiality, there's actual terrible things.
Just like there is in the real world.
It's
Well, it's just
amen, brother.
Yeah, no, it's just another portion of it.
Exactly, but it's the less controlled portion. That's what I like about it, and it's something that you cannot censor because it takes a moderator to censor it, not like Google or anything else, where you use a search engine. They're like, you're paying to be on the top spot for these things.
Yeah.
These things on Reddit and 4chan are literally decided by the people that view them. An upvote decides where this thing will be placed on my timeline. On 4chan, a bump or a roll, the place where roll is a different cadence to it, but a bump will decide where this thing appears on a thread for me. That's what I like about it. It's really raw, and it's a bunch of different people. But anyways, I'm looking at memes with my cousin, and I'm just like, these are fucking amateur. So now when I go back to it and I start showing him some of the memes I'm making, and it was one, I'm like, fuck, which one did I make about the school shooting?
It was when there's a school shooting and they only shot your teacher.
And they only go after the teacher, and it's
Yeah.
all these kids that just look
And-
pissed off.
yeah.
Or just would look really upset.
Yeah.
And I showed him that, and he was just like, bad taste. Verbatim, he was like, bad taste.
There was somebody on Reddit that was like, too soon, dude. All right, so obviously, like Memeology, Fuck Jerry, those guys, they do that, but like they do it on this weird kind of like scope where, again, bastardization of original content, and then they still give the attribution to people, whatever, so they post it. So I'm very interested into seeing what happens with them as like an ad agency and this Fyre Festival stuff, because they are not directly
For people who
responsible
don't know,
for it,
for
but
people who
they
don't-
pushed it out there.
Hold on. For people who don't know, lay it out black and white. What is their involvement with this Fyre Island thing?
So they're so the Fuck Jerry is actually like it's an enterprise. So there's like Fuck Jerry, fuckjerry.tv. Like he has other channels.
All these different venues and avenues of.
They're all on Instagram and stuff like that because he created
Right.
himself off of Tumblr, initially making his own memes and stuff, apparently. So then he goes and has other people that he hires within his ad agency because they're strictly social media. So they create content on there, but then they also hire people that are influencers, so like these other models and shit like that. And so based on these people's followers, they can kind of quantify the return for certain companies if they want to promote their business. They try to make it look organic and shit like that, but I mean, if you're savvy, you're gonna understand that you're being fucking.
Look how
duped.
grassroots we are in our office building.
Yeah, right. So, Fyre Festival, they originally were pitched it for just the Fyre app, which Ja Rule owns, or that's his company.
Okay, I didn't even know what the Fyre app.
I don't know it completely, so I'm just gonna
Really
I'm gonna
quick,
skip
since you
over
and I have
explaining.
talked about this, I haven't had a chance to look at Reddit. I haven't had a chance to look at the news. The only understanding I have of this is like the 5 minutes I listened to on NPR.
Mm-hmm.
You're my source.
Yeah, because I burned like an hour and a half today just
Good.
fucking going over it. Yeah.
Let's consider it a 45 split between the two of us.
So I mean, you want me to keep going with what
Yeah,
the Fyre
definitely.
app? So the Fyre app apparently is some like music app. It's just Ja Rule trying to do like a Jay-Z type of title thing, but a poor man's version of that.
Tidal is a poor man's version of Spotify, and I don't understand
Yeah.
people's fucking problem.
And I don't fully understand what the Fyre app is because why the fuck would I ever use it? But so anyway, so he has that company.
Hold on. It's straight fire.
Oh shit!
No, it's fire.
You think they thought of that? We should sell it to them.
We should have a party.
Oh fuck! They should use the fire emoji too. Oh damn!
100?
100.
Squinty. B.
You
B.
gotta have the B. But so they have this company and they were pitched by Ja Rule apparently, or not pitched, but like they probably want to pitch to Ja Rule's company because he was probably like, hey, I need to promote this, blah blah blah. So I think it eventually snowballed to, hey, we're gonna do this festival because we're partnering up with this guy something McFarland, and we need to move. Not Seth MacFarlane. This guy, this douchebag, is like his last name is McFarland. I think it's Ryan McFarland or something.
Fucking douchebag.
Yeah, but so they're like, all right, we're going to throw this festival in the Bahamas. It'll be like a lifestyle type experience, transformative, fucking whatever millennial shit you want to kind of throw in there. Like that's purely who they're trying to market to.
Right.
And so the way they want to do it is through social media. So then they hype it all up through that system. And directly affiliated with that ad campaign is the Fuck Jerry team. At least from what I can deduct.
So we're going to do a play-by-play with this. Everyone shows up to the fire party, Fire Crotch, whatever the fuck. At this point, I call it the Fire Auschwitz.
Mm-hmm.
They show up, and what I had heard on NPR, again, I'm going to keep saying what I heard on NPR because I'm hanging on those 5 minutes that I caught before I talked to you, is that people had shown up, and first off, they're trying to get interviews with the agency that was supposed to be a part of the basic infrastructure of this thing. I'm not talking about food. I'm not talking about water. I'm not talking about the artists even. I'm talking about, can people show up and be here in general?
Do we have an actual organization that's really throwing this down?
Yeah, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, or do these people even exist to help support this thing?
Mm-hmm.
If they failed, fuck it, they failed. But are they even here? So, exactly. But they couldn't get a hold of the agency. They refused to do any interviews, obviously, because they're not there.
Yeah, no, it's just a shell of a company.
Right. So, the other part of it was, and again, I'm going to refer back to you after this, but I'd heard 2 interviews with people, and one of them was like, it looked like a refugee camp.
Yeah.
People had spent thousands of dollars to be there, which they're fucking idiots for doing that. Okay, look, oh God. Between how tired and drunk, I'm not even drunk, I'm just kind of dehydrated and kind of buzzed. People are fucking stupid. People are so goddamn stupid. How are you going to spend $6,000 to go to something that, it's Ja Rule's app. Ja Rule, for fuck's sake. Even when he was relevant, that's stupid.
Yeah, well, they mix it in with contemporary people too. Like they've got, like Major Lazer, Disclosure, apparently.
You can go to
Blink-182.
Miami and see these guys for $50 and a drink.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to fight you
That's
about
what I'm
this.
saying. No, I know. And that's where it's like, it's purely just comes down to, all right, I'm going to go to this fucking shit. I think this is what people are thinking. They've seen it on Instagram and shit like that. So what do you think's ingrained in them? Dude, I'm going to go to this fucking shit, going to get some heavy ass Instagram photos, post that shit, get hella fucking followers. Like that seems like that's the fucking
Idiots.
lure to it. You know what I mean?
Fucking idiots.
But I mean, yeah, I mean they saw the photos and shit. It just blows my mind though, because you look at the ad campaign for this thing. Of course, it's not fucking real. Like you can see that all of these previous, concert pieces of footage that are just like shitty B-roll from other concerts and stuff. It's like this is like you got to understand this is the first festival for this. Like this is the first time this festival is being thrown.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like of course like you can look at all this other footage and like realize that these are paid models. This isn't a real fucking beach that's over there. Like all that shit. So it blows my mind that people just look at this and go like, dude, this looks fucking sick.
Bro, we're fucking going. Rob your mom.
But and again, it does come down to like just they market it properly, so then they get it out there and they hype it up enough. But again, it's just a fucking bait and switch. Like you get out there and it's dog shit.
Yeah, the rug that was very frail and few threads left is just yanked out from under you.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people backed it. You had said like blink. Okay, look. I'm trying here.
No, you're doing great.
People, Rodrigo's digging deep right now. You got to understand. Blink-182, which I would not go to an island to see. I did like them a very long time ago. I would not see them now because they're, fucking 50?
I would assume so.
Okay, so they backed out the night before or something?
Yeah.
Because someone had said, like, hey, actually, you're showing up to fucking nothing. And they were like, oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah. Well, it was like there was so the reason that a lot of these things didn't get done is because they had contracted a lot of this out. So they had like the catering. It was supposed to be like gourmet catering. Those people dropped like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead, like just before the festival. So clearly, like somebody was just setting this up, making it look like they had it. So this McFarlane guy, like, seems to be the mastermind.
Yeah.
Like setting this up to make it look legit ahead of time. So they front loaded everything, got it ready, and then just as soon as the fucking curtain was lifted, there was just
it's like
there's a big heap of pile of shit in a refugee camp.
Dude, it's seriously welcome to Vietnam.
It's like Job doing magic in Arrested Development.
Do you know what it's a lot like is I'm trying not to reference other people too often, but iDubbbz TV, when I was showing you that bad unboxing thing, there was a video where he was like, is this my PS4? And he pulls out a fucking dildo.
Yep.
If you watch the full video of that, it's actually someone sent him a package that's wrapped as a PS4. The box is a PS4.
Yeah.
He pulls out the accessories to a PS4, and then he opens up the inside box, and it's a fucking dildo. That's what Fire Island was a fucking dildo in a PS4 box.
Exactly. I think you nailed it right there.
Fuck.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it's a lesson that everyone should learn. Like we should all take note, because I feel like, yeah, you
that
know
could
what?
happen anyway.
No, I was just like, you know what? I have had enough of like paying money for like shit like this. Like I should probably not be using disposable income for like stupid shit like this. It could be invested. I could use it elsewhere.
You mean Coachella?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time about that.
No, I mean I'm immediately afterwards, so I'm allowed to actually feel like I'm not gonna go again. And then 6 months from now, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna go again.
That heat stroke was fucking nothing. That Coke wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. That weed, that edible, I didn't throw up as much as I thought I did.
Dude, did you see the lineup though?
Damn.
Yeah. Nah, but I had a good experience. It's unfortunate that other people did not have one at their others, but hey, man, everyone's a sucker once.
Touche. Or bravo.
Maybe?
Dick.
All right, well, hey, man, I think we had a pretty good episode today.
Okay.
You know, we got Mr.
Bam Bam
on the phone.
You know I'm gonna have to voice over all that, right?
Oh fuck! It's better if you say Bam Bam, anyways.
Yeah.
But so we got him on the phone, and he seemed pretty tired, but I think he looks ready.
Yeah.
And I'm
as anorexic and malnourished as Reddy looks, but he really does look ready.
Yeah.
For someone to be that positive after cutting, like he said, he's eating fucking ice chips and lettuce, and couldn't even do that the last 2 days.
Yeah. No, it's amazing what somebody could come through after they starve themselves. Put themselves mentally on a stranded island with tents that look like refugee camps, and once
he put himself on his own fire island just to be ready for this.
Yep. And then once he gets that water and that food up in him, he's ready to smash face.
All right. So for the What is Sensitivity podcast, I can never do that right.
You want me to do it because you signed on this time? which you did a fantastic job of.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, could you take us out?
Yeah. All right. So this is Po Boy for the What is Sensitivity podcast, and we are signing off. I'm here with
Rodrigo.
and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Y'all niggas living broke. I bring it back like afros and skipping rope. Golden 9, James Bond, Nintendo 64. Kicking the door with the big fofo. Nobody move, everybody on the flow. Nigga, where I'm from, we bang like Holly Grove. Blood run like snotty nose. Niggas put you in a hole. Ice cold. Niggas on the block playing dominoes. Everybody knows. 6 po, chalice load. Walking on